Hi, sorry to bother you. My name's Davey, and this is my podcast. Sorry to bother you. Um, I don't know what this is. I really don't. I'm kind of like trying to figure it out. I wanted to start this new little venture, and kind of put out a weekly podcast as a little form of self-reflection and really figure out who I am, what I'm doing, and hopefully, make you laugh along the way. So, a little bit about me before we get anything started. Let's just talk about who I am, what I do, and why you should give a shit about me. To answer that last point, you shouldn't. I don't really think I'm that interesting. I'll be honest with you. I do think I have a little bit of an ego about myself, which you kind of have to, otherwise, I wouldn't be making this at all. Like, or at least putting it out. I understand, like, there's a whole, cathartic feeling about, recording yourself or archiving yourself. And I kind of, need to do this for myself, for a couple of reasons. So I'm not gonna overshare, but I would say that I have some issues, and I would like to talk about them weekly, and put them out. But this is gonna be mostly lighthearted. It's gonna be a comedy podcast. I don't really see myself, getting too serious. Worrying about too many topics. I will get serious, like I have my opinions on shit, but I'm not gonna preach to you about what you should be thinking, what I'm like I'm not gonna push my political views down your throat, you know what I mean? I'm just like, if I have an opinionated belief, I'm just gonna say it because this is what it's about. This is mostly for me. But who I am, right? Like, what is it that I do? I'm a student. I'm going to college for music, and I'm applying for music and film. Whatever program lets me in, I'll go. Transferring from community college, but I've been on YouTube for a very long time. I've been making YouTube videos since I was 13, and I've been on the site since I was like, I want to say it was between 2005 and 2007, and I was 5 and 7 respectively in those years. Because my mom had a computer. And I think it was like for work, or my mom and dad got it for something. And I would use it like pretty regularly. I would go on, and my memories would be me, getting on and watching the new whatever viral videos of the week, right? There was like Harry Potter Puppet Pals. I'm a Banana, like Onision used to be like really big back then. Shane Dawson was huge on the platform at the time. Jenna Marbles was a big name. Maybe I'm getting the timelines, mixed up, because these names were very here and there. There was Jack's Films, of course, from like the very beginning. But there's a few people, there's a few people that I look back on and I'm like, I want to do that, I want to make videos. And back then it wasn't even for money, you know what I mean? Money was not even like a thing that YouTubers could make. I like wanted to make videos for like the joy of it. And gaming content was big, and let's plays were huge, right? You had people like Chuka Conroy, Josh Jepson, Attacking Toucans, Lugajin, especially Lugajin's a huge name to me back then. Donna Bells, of course. Good amount of people. I can't even name them all. Proton John and Nintendo Capri Sun especially. And I would look at these people who were just playing games for the fun of it, doing Let's Plays, and I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to play my favorite games, and I want to talk about them, and record my thoughts. So my very first videos were Let's Plays of Super Mario 64, which I played early high school, and it was a blind Let's Play Mario 64. And I would play it, and I was super bad at it, and I was just trying to be funny. Like, I would try to talk, and I was talking about my day, like my thoughts about transitioning into high school. And I wish I had those videos still. They might be somewhere on like a old or dead channel. But I don't know. I don't know where those videos are. I know there was an old blind Let's Play of Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap, which I still have never beaten. I still have never beaten Minish Cap, and I want to. I don't know why I stopped. I think I was just because, when you're young and you kind of give up on things, you kind of forget to do them. But the big games that I would play were Mario 64, Minish Cap, and Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. And I would play these games like religiously, Minish Cap because I was blind, so I was a little bit of an exception. I beat Mario 64. I would beat, Punch Out. Would do these games 100%, right? So my Let's Plays would be 100%, and it was just this like prepubescent kid making Let's Plays. Eventually, I wanted to do something else because I kind of got bored with it. Not bored. Bored's not the right word. But I felt like I want to do more. Like I want to do a little more experimental stuff. So I like moved to movie reviews. I did political commentary at the time, which there are videos that I look back on and I look at what I'm trying to say. And the whole time I look at it and I'm like, I was trying to be funny. Like the politics part of it was whatever. And I don't even necessarily agree or disagree with what I was saying back then. Like I still hold a lot of stances that I hold right now. Like at the age of 21, I hold a lot of those same beliefs. I would have just went about it in a different way, or maybe even kind of not made the joke at all, There are some things, I can't think of anything on top of my head, but there's this one video. And it was this channel, it was called like fuckhate.com or something. And they had these little girls in dresses, and they would be like, say statistics that were very misleading. And their message is one that I don't necessarily disagree with, Basically, they made the claim that all men are rapists, and I don't, necessarily think that's an okay message to send, but I do think that it is perfectly reasonable to, send the message that women shouldn't fear for themselves when going to their car. You know what I mean? Like, I would never say that they are wrong for feeling scared or wrong for feeling this way, but I would say that sending that kind of message and using children to send that message is harmful. My problem wasn't even what the stance was, it was the fact that they were using children to send that message. And so I was like, you know what? Let me make a video clowning on these people. And that video blew up. It had for a channel with 30 subscribers, it took me to a channel with 200 subscribers, and it had 30K views, which in 2015, I was 15 years old. That was a lot for me. I'd say a lot of people would say that's a lot for them. No matter how big the channel is, 50 views is 50,000 views is 50,000 people, right? That's a lot. Eventually I moved away from that just because I didn't find it was fun. The political commentary scene was a bit different than it is now. There have been commentary YouTubers everywhere, from the beginning, and political commentary is a little bit different. They're a little more personable because it's politics, obviously, but I never looked at it as politics. I looked at it as clowning on videos that were stupid and points that were stupid. And it would get a little too personal, and people were getting doxxed. People were, this, that, or the third. And I decided to step back from that. I don't need that kind of tension from a hobby. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a hobby. And I don't want to feel like I'm in danger because I made a joke about Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean? But that's kind of whatever. So here I am now. I run a group gaming channel, comedy channel, whatever you want to look at it as, called Detention, where we do gaming videos, a podcast, which I am also on, live sketches, which I'm editing for the channel right now, and a few other things that will go there, and my personal channel, Davey, which I put, my highly edited, video essays on things that I enjoy or things I want to clown on. That's where these go, and commentary-esque videos, you know what I mean? And this is the channel that you're on right now if you're on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. This project is kind of meant to fill the gap in between the videos that I want to make. My next video probably won't be done until the end of January, a little bit earlier hopefully if things go well. Unfortunately, my computer's fucking up, and I will get to that in a second. But that's what this podcast is meant to be, and that's what I want to do. That's everything I just kind of want to gain from this podcast. I just want to look at it from a different angle, or look at what I'm doing from a different angle, be really reflective and critical of myself, and, go from there weekly. This is just going to be an experiment for me. And if it stops, whatever, if this episode even sees the light of day, I don't know. This could be a really bad episode, and I'm just not sure. But before I move on, I do want to give a shout out to my friends over at Detention. Please go follow them. They'll be in the description below. They're the reason I get to do what I'm doing, because I grow through the content we make together, and all that sappy stuff. And my girlfriend got me a really expensive podcast recorder, and we're gonna use that to record those episodes together in the same room, because we've been doing it over Discord. So thank you to her. I love her to death. She'll be in the description as well. Moving forward, let's move a little bit away from introduction stuff. I'm really upset. My computer is fucking up, and it's like a very inconvenient way. Like, it's nothing like, like breaking. Like, I could still use it. I pulled an all-nighter trying to fix it. It's the next night since the issue happened, and I've only slept 3 hours from a nap I took. That I only took because my girlfriend called me and told me to take a nap. So here I am, looking like shit, needing to record this because I was supposed to record it today. So here I am. And so what's up with my computer, right? It's like, so I click anywhere on the desktop. So it started when I right clicked, everything would freeze. I fixed that issue, but there's still an issue where if I right click on a program, Windows Explorer freezes. And I have tried everything I can think of except for updating it. And I'm trying to update, but it won't let me because there's an error code. So I go to fix the error code, but it won't let me because I'm not registered as an admin. But I am registered as an admin, so I'm like, I have a fucking virus. I check, no virus. I get an antivirus software to even like check. I fucking scan the whole computer, no virus, nothing. Everything that was even remotely harmful is off the computer, right? I clean out my hard drive, everything I can think of, nothing is working. So I have to figure that out. It's not even like that bad of an issue. Like, I can get around it. It's just so inconvenient. Like, really, it's really inconvenient. I don't know what to do. If there's anybody who hears this, who is listening, that is really good with computers, please, for the love of God, let me know. Please let me know. Like, you will be my hero. Like, I will put your name in the beginning of every podcast if you can help me figure this out. I swear to you, I will do that. But yeah, that being said, that's just really it. Like, please help me. It's just so annoying because I was working on it so hard, like for the last day, since it was 8 o'clock at night to now when I took a break to record this, and it's 9 o'clock, about to be 10 right now. So I've been working on it 24 hours, nearly, and like 3 hours in between for like the sleeping. Because I need my computer, you know what I mean? Like, I use it for school, I use it for everything. Like, I need my fucking computer, and it's just really annoying when it's not working. I'm really hoping that I can just turn it off and on, and eventually the problem will just resolve itself, like it tends to do sometimes. And it's a brand new fucking computer too. Like, I just bought it this year, and I really hope that it just doesn't shit on me because I don't have money to buy a new one. Like, I really don't have the money to do that. And I don't want to use my really shitty laptop, but if I gotta do it, I gotta do it. That's really it. I'm gonna get better at speaking and, talking without going or like, shit like that, and carrying a conversation without using the word like fucking or I want to get better at that. I had this teacher my senior year of high school, my English teacher. She made us give presentations where we couldn't speak using like or as. No, sorry, not like or as. Like using like or like you had to speak an entire speech without doing that. And if you could get the whole speech for 2 minutes using the prompt she gave you, like on a flashcard, you get credit for the day. And if you don't get your credit. And everybody had to do it once. And if you were able to do it more than once or make it up on a different day, you get your credit. Like, everyone had to do it at least once in the semester. And if you fuck it up, you get another chance. So it's not like brutal. And if you do it again, you get extra credit. So that was pretty cool. And I had this really good speech because the prompt was, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I went, I'm the only one who can see this prompt, so I can take it wherever I want. So I said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Who is the beholder? Why is he holding bees? And I thought it was so fun. I still think that's funny. Like, fuck you if you don't think that's funny. I really, I just went with it for 2 minutes. I was like, and we have to look at ourselves and wonder, am I holding the bees? And what do the bees represent? Are you the bees in my eye? Am I beholding the bee? Because the prompt didn't have to make sense. You just had to talk about it for 2 minutes, and so I did. And then this girl raises her hand. She's like, Mrs. Twilliger. That's not her name. Mrs. Twilliger. He even talk about the prompt. He shouldn't get his credit. Like, why not? Why didn't I earn it? Why can't you keep your mouth shut? Like, what did I do to make you have to raise your hand and say he does not deserve the credit that I so rightfully earned that day? Like, some people, like, you don't have to raise your hand and talk in class. You don't have to do that. You chose to do that. And it makes me so upset. And I'm not going to say your name. I'm not going to be that petty. But, like, come on. Really? You know who you are. You daft. I almost called you something bad. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm better than that. Okay? This podcast is getting so derailed so fast. I'm literally rambling about stories that I haven't thought about in like 4 years. It's whatever. This is the pod, baby. This is Sorry to Bother You. I don't know why I came up with that name, but I really like it because it feels like I'm intruding on your life, speaking into your ear for no reason, you know? There's a few things I want to do on the podcast. I want to have guests. I want to, look back on old content that I've made and dissect it and talk about it more in depth. Plan new content, come up with ideas, and like just speak on what I'm thinking. Little things like that. I could really be all over the place, and this is kind of a way for me to, kind of understand myself and what I'm doing. So that's cool, I guess. That's one thing I want to do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a plan. I didn't make a plan when making this. I just kind of wanted to do it, and so I did. And that's how you should really do anything. If you want to start doing something, you got to do it. I stream on Twitch. I try to do like 3 nights a week, and I stream on Twitch, and a good friend, Garbo, he's in high school right now, he'll always ask me, he's like, I want to do this or that, and I just tell him, bro, you just got to do it. And he did it. He made his first video, and it is a banger. It is a banger video. I'm like not even hyping him up, like not gassing him up. That is a banger video. For your first video, it is like, it's a banger. Like I can see that fool like making some good content. That's what you got to do. Like I didn't make good content. I arguably don't make the best content. But I've been more happy with it than I've ever been because I have made a skill set and understand my form of writing or form of comedy or where I lack in certain areas. I understand that now because I kept doing it and I kept making things. And I think anyone can take that away no matter what it is. And like something big or small. Like I want to get into something or I want to start doing something. If you don't start, you're not going to until you do it, right? It's like that phrase, always in the last place I looked. Of course it is. Of course it's in the last place you looked because when you found it, you stopped looking, little shit like that. Like it's obvious when you think about it, but sometimes you need that extra push, to get it done. And that's kind of what I say when it comes to content creation. Like you just got to do it, start it. Fuck it, who cares? If it's bad, then don't put it out. And if it's bad, you can learn why it's bad and fix it for your future stuff. Nobody starts off killing. You know what I mean? I've done stand-up comedy a total of 2 or 3 times. And the first time I did it, I got laughs and I thought, okay, this is great. The second time I did it, I bombed so hard that I drove home and I thought I wanted to kill myself. And it's funny because I didn't want to tell anyone that I was doing stand-up. It was at this pizzeria in a town over. And I didn't want to tell anyone that I was doing it because I was afraid that they would come and their pressure would be on. I wanted to do it in a place where I had nothing to lose. I had nobody there who knew me. I could bomb and never see them again. And I wanted to come home and be like, oh my God, let me vent. But no, I can't. I did not want to tell them that I was doing stand-up comedy. And I thought I did okay. Like, it was fun. It was a learning experience. I think I did better this third time than I did the second. But you really got to dissect what happens and learn from it. Understand why things worked or what didn't work and keep going. The best comedians didn't kill their first show. Actually, I don't know that. Like, the best comedians, like Dave Chappelle could have murdered his first comedy night. I do not know. But I am not that funny. You know, I'll admit it. I'm not Dave Chappelle funny. I'm just like internet comedian funny. Like, but not like Instagram. I'm funnier than Instagram comedians. I will say that. Like, 'cause Instagram comedians don't even gotta be funny. You just gotta be like slightly attractive or like look goofy looking. It's like a different spectrum. On one end, you have like the really hot like Instagram models that are doing comedy, and the goofy looking weirdos that are getting like they are the comedy. And here I am in the center, goofy, but not too goofy. I'm not attractive, but I'm funny. You know, like I think I'm funny. Um, and most people who are funny think they're funny. Like, you have to have an ego about yourself when you do these things. An ego is important, but you shouldn't like be a dick about it. You shouldn't hold yourself higher than others, but you should understand that you are the center of attention in a certain area, and be okay with that attention and use that attention to provide like or to push a joke onto people. Like, the attention is on you, and now you must deliver to justify that attention being on you. And that's not even just comedy. That is like if someone's watching you sing, or someone's watching you a movie you've made or something. Like, this is your creation. Justify the eyes that are on you right now. And I look at that from a performance standpoint. You know, I'm not gonna stand here and say, hey, you shouldn't, do things for yourself. Like, if you do things for yourself, that's great. And whatever anyone thinks about it is whatever. Like, criticism is fine, but if someone doesn't like it, at least you did. You know what I mean? That's kind of what you have to go about. That's kind of the mindset you have to have when you do shit like this. You know what I mean? I notice that I say "you know what I mean" a lot as a transition word. I don't know why. I don't think I know anyone that does that, but I do. And I start sentences with like, here's the thing. And then I go on with the sentence. I don't know why I do that. I couldn't tell you why I do that, to be honest. That's just how I talk. I'm hoping to like learn my speech patterns as I do this weekly, and kind of like, change my speech pattern. Maybe like change my voice a little bit. Like I'll end up with like a Joe Rogan voice, or like a movie trailer voice, like, this summer, Davey's gonna start a podcast and it won't be entertaining. Like, shit like that. Like, I'll come out with like a deeper voice, like a more sensual, type of voice that I don't have right now. I don't understand dirty talk, so I really don't. Like, I think I do, and I feel like I want to say something. Like, when me and my girlfriend are in the bed, and I think like I want to say something, and I think of it, and I'm like, yeah, like, this gonna set the mood, and it just sounds goofy when I say it. And one time I saw her chuckle, and I kind of wanted to stop. Don't laugh at me. like I kind of want to just lay over like on the bed and just go to bed and just be like, don't laugh at me, you bitch. don't do that. Fuck you. My girlfriend's not a bitch. I shouldn't have said that, but it's funny, little things like that. There was one thing she said, and it's like in my drafts. I don't know if I want to tweet this, but I guess I will, because I'll say it right now. We were doing the dirty, and I was like, this is something I wanted her to do. I was like, hey babe, talk dirty to me in Spanish. And she whispers at me, Crunchwrap Supreme. And I wanted to roll over and just go to bed. Killed it right there. Like, I was laughing, but the mood was gone. Like, there is no more sexy time right now. Not in this house. Like, what I did was I stopped. I vacuumed the condom back into the wrap, put it back in the box, and went to bed. I'm not gonna waste the condom, of course. That's for later. I didn't finish. It's still usable. Stupid. Too smart. You can't. Like, I have the biggest like penny pincher ideas. You know what I mean? Little shit that saves you money. I think it's so wild when I see people, like the cheapest people ever, who like coupon, and like I bought my groceries for a cent. You heard that? A cent. Bought it for like 1 penny. 10 cans of pinto beans, 1 penny. That's kind of commendable, honestly. If you can find out how to get like 10 cans of pinto beans for a penny, a single penny, that's worth it, man. People come into the store that I work at. I work at a pizzeria, by the way, for some background on me. People come into the store that I work at, and they'll be like, I have this coupon. Can I stack them? And we'd say no. Like, my boss, like thought ahead. They're like, no, we don't stack coupons. Sorry. And I got this story about this one guy who got so mad over $3 that it makes me laugh. So, we were selling pizza. It was a busy night, like a normal Friday, and this guy comes in and he orders one of our specialty pizzas, and it's a specialty pizza because it's like we make it. It's one of our recipes. It's on sale. It's usually 15. It's 12 right now, and he changes 2 out of 3 toppings. Ladies and gentlemen, and those who have surpassed the binary, 2 out of 3 toppings changed is not the same pizza. I really believe that, and if you disagree, comment down below, subscribe even. But if you disagree, I don't know what to tell you. 2 out of 3 toppings off a pizza is not the same pizza, you know? But with my argument, if you don't get the same pizza, I don't think you deserve the deal for $3 less. I'm sorry, you don't. But this guy thought he did. He thought he was so entitled to this. He made a big O scene in the store, like making a commotion for like 10 minutes, dude, yelling at the cashier. The cashier gets upset. She's trying to like not, like start anything. He takes a picture of her and then to show our boss, quote unquote. And she gets mad, calls him an idiot. He looks at me for help. Me and my coworker. He looks at us for like to back him up. And he's like, "You guys hear that?" My coworker looks him dead in the eyes. He's like, "Man, I'm not a part of this. Like, don't lump us in with this. And even if you are, we are not on your side. We work here. We are on her side. Like, it's kind of like a trust thing, you know? We work with this person, and I believe she's correct, but we worked with this person, and I'm not going to back you up, sir. I'm going to back her up. Because there's a level of trust that you have with your coworkers that you need to do so. Obviously, if she pulled out a Glock 9 and shot him in the nuts, I'd be like, whoa, not okay. But this guy was being a jackass. So he's making this commotion. And, over $3. $3, man. Not worth. I don't understand it. Not worth. It really isn't. It's like not that deep. Go home. Get some help. So we're trying to get him out of the store. Eventually he leaves. Customers are waiting out the door. We can only have 3 people in the store, so there's a line of people outside. All because this guy wanted $3. And people will do a lot for $3. They'll do a lot for $1. I got another story. I was not in the store for this one, but they relayed it to me the next day. Lady came in. This is like the day after this guy showed up. Lady came in. She ordered a thin crust pizza. No. She ordered a regular pizza and assumed it would be thin crust, right? So we have 3 types of pizza. We have 4. We have a thin crust, 5 actually. A thin crust, a thick crust, regular crust, pan crust, and a gluten-free. Gluten-free can only be gotten in medium, pan can be gotten in large, so they're not important. Regular crust is the standard crust. She assumed that this pizza would be a thin crust, which is $1 cheaper than the regular crust. So she comes in, she pays. She's like, I thought it was supposed to be $11 or whatever, the fuck, 14 or whatever. And the cashier's like, no, you got the regular pizza. It's $15. You're thinking of the thin crust, but that's what I wanted. It's not what you asked for. She says, well, that's what I wanted. I assumed it would be thin crust. Like, why wouldn't it be thin crust? That's what it regularly comes on. No. It comes on the regular crust, as it is the regular crust. You have to specify thin crust. We won't make you a thin crust if you don't ask for one. We'll make you a regular one, as it is the regular. And she gets mad, and she's like, I want my $1. I want my $1 refund. That's what I wanted. I wanted to pay $14 and not $15. Give me my $1. And the cashier gets fed up, because he's not going to refund for a fucking $1. Like, to go through that trouble on the computer for $1, right? Man pulls it out of the tip jar. He says, if you want the $1 so bad, take it from the tip jar. And she does. She takes from the fucking tip jar, dude. You have to be a real piece of shit to take $1 from a tip jar, dude. And I really get the feeling that people don't either have never worked, like a food job in their life, or they have just forgotten and have no empathy for the people that do. I feel so bad for other food workers because those conditions suck. And you can make the argument like these, they gotta work. You don't need to tip people. And I would even argue like, okay, tipping shouldn't be a thing. We shouldn't need to tip, but jobs don't pay us enough. You know what I mean? Like it's not, like it's not a living wage. And you shouldn't have to work multiple jobs to fucking, to support yourself. You shouldn't have to. Unfortunately, that's the world we live in. That's kind of like what you got to do. And to take from a tip jar, I think you got to be a real piece of shit. It's $1. Yeah, it's $1, but that's $1 that one of us workers are not going to get because of one lady's mistake, And maybe the cashier should have just done the refund the right way. But I don't blame him for just doing that either. I don't blame him at all. And I said I would he would probably be like, I gladly take that out of my tips. Fuck it, I'm the one who gave it to her. Take it out of my tips. And I don't know. It's just a shame. It's a shame that people are like that because you should really treat your fast food workers, kindly, respectfully. I would argue that those jobs are a lot harder than you think they are. They're not easy. The ways I've been treated in my jobs are ridiculous. I've worked a few jobs in my life, I worked at McDonald's when I was 16 years old. It was my first ever job. I was 16, and I would work at McDonald's every weekend. And I would go, and it would just be so shitty. These 8-hour jobs, or 8-hour shifts where, you're not supposed to stay past 10 if you're a minor, but they kept me there anyway. They kept me till 2 one time. Because they don't care. They don't care about your well-being, Even as a minor, they don't give a shit about you. And I would go, and it would just be terrible conditions. Like, a fryer, popped and, shot, fryer oil all over my arm. And there's still, little bumps on my arm and scarring from when it happened. And, it just sucks. And, shit like that, happens every day. Those jobs are not easy. You should treat everyone with respect no matter what job they're doing. Because often the time is they don't like the job and they're being treated like shit at their job. You find really big companies, like dream jobs that people have, like game development, that treat them like shit. So what makes you think that McDonald's won't? What makes you think that Walmart won't? I worked at Walmart when I was 18. I was in college. I was leaving I was 18 turning 19. I was leaving a preschool job that I had. It was a temporary position I was leaving at. And this guy, I have a small speech impediment that I have slowly been working on. When I've been talking in microphones or, the side or the third, I've been slowly working on it. Whenever I say words with M's or W's, I have trouble saying those words, and I'll be like, and I can't say it. It's just a problem I've always had. And I've slowly been getting better at it. And this guy asked me, he says, hey, can you point me to where the bread is? And I was in the candy aisle at a Walmart, stocking the shelves. And I said, sure. The bread, and I was pausing and pausing and trying to focus and say bread. And I don't even know why. It just, these little things that I don't know why they happen. But it was hard. And I was trying to say the bread is over there in that aisle. And the man looks at me. And he looks me in the eye and he goes, come on, man, just where's the bread? And I sat there and I looked at him and I was like, it's over there, man. And I walked away. And the level of restraint that it takes to not harm another person every day, it's difficult. You can argue that I don't have violent thoughts. Everyone does. Everybody has a violent thought. Your nice preschool teacher has had an intrusive thought to throw you out of a window when you were younger. And everyone has intrusive thoughts, man. You ever look at you ever drive a car and you think, I can just turn like to the right really fast and just hit the guy next to me. Happens to everybody, intrusive thoughts happen. And that was mine. I was like, I can take this man. I can gouge his eyes and kill this person who just insulted me. You walk away, and I was angry. Like, I was mad. I told my manager, I was like, I need to go take a break. And I told them what happened. They're like, yeah, just go take a break. And so I did, and I walked it off and whatever. Went about the rest of my day. But that job was something else too. I can tell a lot of Walmart stories, and it wasn't even like Walmart itself. Like the company, I thought working for them was a really pleasant experience for the most part, and checks were fat, so I can't complain too much. But I don't know. That's kind of my experience with that. I know friends that work at McDonald's now. I know friends that work at Walmart. I know friends like who work in like really shitty jobs, and just treat them with respect is like all I'm gonna say. There's one more thing that I would like to address, and it's TikTok. So I made a TikTok account in March, I believe. It was probably March. And so I make this TikTok account, and I'm like, all right, now I'm going to make a video whenever I think of something funny, and I'm going to challenge myself to just like carry these ideas through. That way, I'm less likely to, put things off or think of an idea and not do it. I will execute these smaller ideas as I see them, right? And it's been fun. I love doing TikToks. I don't take it too seriously. I just fuck around. There's one TikTok in particular that got more views than any, and it was this TikTok where it starts off with this guy. I stitched it. This guy, and he says like he's justifying the use of the phrase China virus, right? And the phrase China virus is something that I don't agree with fundamentally, for a few reasons. And I was talking to my girlfriend about this, and there are a few reasons we agreed on. First things first. China virus is a derogatory, not derogatory, but it is a term that was meant to be used for hateful rhetoric. It was, highly politicized. It has only been used in a negative term and has negative effects on the people that live in our the country of America specifically. And I'm only using this for the perspective of American Chinese citizens. I don't speak for them, but these are my interpretations and what I would think and have been confirmed by a few people I have talked to. So the use of the term can be used as a derogatory because if you think about it, right? Think about the biggest influencer you can think of, PewDiePie, right? And let's say he says something like, I don't know, the Italian flu for some reason. And now he says things and makes it like a negative toward Italy, right? Which I don't know why he would do, but he says like negative things about Italian people or Italy. And now his viewers, a small minority of them are going to be stupid and not realize that that's a stupid thing to say. And even if a tenth of his following is stupid, they can potentially go out of their way to discriminate against the Italian people. And that's exactly what I am seeing and what many people are seeing from the president and his following and the small minority, vocal minority of his following that are stupid, right? And you can vote for whoever you want to. Any political figure that would have done this would have had the same effect, and I would not agree with it. Now, you have people who are using that as a derogatory against Chinese Americans and discriminating against Chinese Americans, but they're stupid, so they're not even doing just Chinese Americans, it's affecting Asian Americans as a whole. And so that's where I come with the problem with it. And people were commenting saying, my TikTok didn't make an argument, because it wasn't trying to. It just took a stitch of that video, him saying it, and me just saying, you're a bigoted loser. That was a joke. It wasn't that deep. It wasn't even a joke. It was just what I thought. Proceeded with a joke, said what I thought. It wasn't that deep. People were commenting all over it, saying, you didn't make a point. You didn't do anything. You didn't, you're not making an argument. I shouldn't have to, because anyone with common sense can realize that that's a stupid thing to say, and I shouldn't have to educate you people about why this is a stupid thing to say. That's not what I'm here to do. If you really think that's okay, you're an idiot. Block me. Do it. Block me. I get passionate about shit like that. I get passionate when people are being discriminated against, no matter who they are. Even if it was people discriminating against white people, I get passionate about that because I don't want to see that shit. Because I don't like the way it feels. I don't want to make other people feel that way. I don't give a fuck who they are. It's the same way that when people don't want to use pronouns because it's inconvenient for them. Who cares, dude? It's not for you. And I get passionate about that shit. And I'm not going to stand here and say I'm the most PC person in the world. I just think everyone should be treated with respect. I want to be treated with the same respect that I treat you. God damn it. But the minute that your beliefs impede on someone else's, that's when I get upset, right? So that's where I'm coming from. The second point I want to make. Chinese virus, and my girlfriend and I talked about this, is 4 syllables, right? You're going out of your way to say it. 4 syllables is a lot compared to, COVID, which is 2, Corona, which is 3, and Rona, which is 2. You have shorter alternatives. It's not even catchy, China virus, not even catchy, Rona. That shit's Rona, bruh. You got COVID. You got that 19, bruh. Literally, say anything else, man. It's like, don't be a dick. Like, don't be an asshole. It's not hard. It's super easy to not be an asshole. And if you see a problem with that, or if you find it like hard for you, I don't know what to tell you, man. Educate yourself. Be better. And I hate when people say that. I really do. I hate when people go out of their way and be like, be better. Like, fuck you. You don't know me. But you're being a dick. So, like, fuck you. Honestly. Block me. Fuck you. Because there's no debate. There's no debate for making people uncomfortable and making people feel shitty because they want to, because it's not a debate. This isn't like, I would even consider abortion a debate. Like, I'll debate on that shit. But I won't debate on shit like pronouns because they inconvenience you. Call people what they want to be called. Everyone's a person. Binary or not. You're a person. You deserve to be treated like a person no matter what. And that's my political corner. I'll get off my soapbox now. This is a comedy podcast. I have a squeaky chair for audio listeners. I guess I'll end off with, the schedule. The sketchy. This will be out every week. Depending on, I don't know what the day will be. Let's say Wednesdays I'm trying to aim for Wednesdays on for the audio only, Fridays for the video portion. And my detention podcast are getting moved to Fridays for both, I believe. Fridays for audio for sure, and then maybe like Sunday for video. So I'll talk about more then. The last episode couldn't be done because my computer was fucking up, but now everything's fine except for that last thing I brought up earlier. But yeah, that should really be everything, I'm going to try my best to do this weekly. I'm going to try my best to keep it consistent. This is going to be self-reflection at the end of the day. A way to self-reflect and to talk about just what's going on, man. COVID's really got me fucked up. And the year's ending in 2021. I really hope that it will be a better year. And I'll be a better me, So with that being said, I'm sorry I bothered you for so long. Gotta plug the name. I'm sorry to bother you. It will be weekly. But I'll be calling back every week. If you liked what you heard today, I recommend giving this a 5-star rating. Rate it high so that people can see this. I appreciate you for listening in the first place. And if you want to follow my other links, my channel will be down below. My gaming channel, my other podcasts will be down below. My friends as well. Twitter, _Davey. Twitch, _Davey. And TikTok, _Davey, DAVIE. That's basically everything, But I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you next week. I'll call you later. Bye.